We're talking mining in Nunavut now with Bruce McLeod. He's the president and CEO of Sabina Gold, and he joins me at Gold Stock Analyst Day here in Florida. Bruce, it's our first time speaking. Nice to meet you. Good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having us.
And happy to talk about Sabina Gold with you today. It's a solid story in Nunavut. You've just set aside about 6.4 million, correct me if I'm wrong, to advance development at Back River. You've had some permitting hurdles involving caribou, which you'll need to explain to me.
Certainly, we'll walk through those.
But give us an update.
Sure. Well, we actually ended the year 2016 on a very good financial footing, just under $40 million in cash. We took advantage of Canada's flow-through financing market and just added another $6 million that are earmarked for exploration, what we're calling high-impact exploration targets within our project this year. But on top of that, to move the project forward, we have a variable budget, and the variable budget is based on permitting timelines this year, and it's between $8.5 million and $25 million for a total of up to $31.1 million, depending on our permitting timeline. And the permitting issue that we ran into is we were in our final environmental hearings for what we call a project certificate in Nunavut. And in June 15th, the Nunavut Impact Review Board recommended the project not proceed at this time. So since June 15th and today, or actually on Friday, we've been working on moving that forward, garnering additional support from the communities. And in January, the federal government opined on NERB's recommendation and recommended that it be sent back to NERB for reconsideration. And NERB on Friday, so 2 days ago, has come out with their timeline, and we will be again in hearings at the end of May of this year with another recommendation from the Nunavut Impact Review Board in the middle of July.
So since these permitting issues seem to be going along well, has there been interest from majors in Sabina? I know Agnico Eagle operates in Nunavut, just to mention one.
I think, I don't talk about M&A activity for our company in particular, but what I can say is if you look at the exploration fail that the mid-tiers and majors have had, virtually all of them are producing ounces faster than they're replenishing them. And what has happened is assets like Sabina's Back River project are becoming a very coveted asset. And I think for whether you think gold is going to be $1,150 or $2,000, these people have businesses to run. And without additional resources, some of them aren't going to be able to more than 5 and 10 years out. So I think what has happened is the competitive tension for projects like ours, if you look at measured and indicated 5.2 million ounces and another 2 million ounces on top of that inferred, there's very few projects that are in quality jurisdictions such as Nunavut that can deliver that kind of long-term production.
And speaking about gold forecasts, it's our first time speaking. What's your sentiment on the mining industry right now and gold?
Well, look, is gold is certainly one of the oldest store of real value, and when there's times of uncertainty, it certainly is more topical. And I think it'd be very difficult for any financial analyst to say that we're not in an increased period of that today. So, there is financial uncertainty. We have seen Dow stocks, breaking records almost on a daily basis. I think that there is overvaluation in some of those bigger markets. I think that all it's going to take is people to say, I need an alternative, it might be 5 or it might be 10% of my portfolio. And part of the reasons that we're here at the Gold Stock Analyst Day is that, that is a thesis of that it should be a small part of your portfolio.
And you weren't part of GSA Day, in years prior. Why do you think you came under John's radar here?
Well, I think that I joined the company just over 2 years ago, and the project, although it was moving forward in a feasibility and a permitting, it really wasn't until we were able to put it all together in a financeable, what we think is in a financeable way, that we can show this is a true going concern and that we have a pathway to production in the short term. So I think that with gold price being in a better level than it has been on a relative basis for a while, that we were lucky to be one of his GSA 10 picks.
And just curious, before I let you go, tell us about life in Nunavut. I guess you get to go up there a bit. I've yet to be there, and we don't really hear much about this territory.
Yes.
Is mining welcome there?
You know, I think responsible mining is welcome. Nunavut was created with the settlement, with the extinguishment of Inuit land claims, and they are very welcoming of responsible development. But you know, their bar is very high, and I think that, you know, as responsible miners and being very cognizant of what it takes to be successful in today's era, where social engagement and a social conscience is a big part of the mining business, I think we've been able to bridge those and develop those relationships with the Nunavummian.
And do you think Canadian government has been friendly to mining? How would you say Trudeau's administration handles it?
Well, you know, I'd like to only speak about our experience, and I think that the Trudeau federal Liberal government has been receptive and has been responsible in looking at our permitting decision and making sure that under the right conditions that it's going to enable it to move forward.
All right, Bruce McLeod, it's a pleasure meeting with you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching our coverage here from Gold Stock Analyst Day in Florida. We'll have more for you, so stay tuned to Kitco.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Bruce.